Happy Monday, everyone. Starting you off with singing, you couldn't turn it off fast enough. XRP fans, Deaton's coming out with some financial advice, and gotta be honest with you, my man's onto something. And Blackrock is giving warnings, and it's not good because it's anti-crypto warnings. But isn't Blackrock the one supposed to be bailing us all out? And Bitcoin spot ETF. It's gonna garner a whole bunch of financial attention. But will that financial attention steal oomph away from the crypto market directly, since money will be flowing into ETFs instead of crypto? And before we get into the content today, I just wanted to apologize for not putting more out yesterday, but I ended up running a marathon as part of my training for my ultra marathon coming up, so I was a little tired. Pull my finger starts us off. It says, for the past 3 months, BTC paid 12 million in use phase. Ripple XRP only paid a few thousand. How is it supposed to increase the token value? Great question. Jeremy Touche backs up that question with another question. And Jeremy, I've got some answers, but I also don't have answers, which is part of your question. Jeremy Touche supports the channel big time. It says, XRP has just become so confusing for me. One day it seems like it's going to do big things. The next seems like a scam. Klaus, what do you think XRP will do or be in the future? Jeremy, I'm going to answer this with some articles coming out, and then I'm going to do a full standalone video regarding this, okay? So we're going to touch it just on the basis right here, the tip of it, the ice, and then we're going to go full deep in a separate video. But first, Ripple's XRP advocate, John Deaton, shares unprecedented financial advice. Well, this is where the answers start, okay? Expectations, reality, strategy. How do you play this market? How do you line your pockets with green? How do you make sure that even what you're investing in is the right thing? Ripple's XRP advocate, John Deaton, known for his outspoken opinions and insights in social media, recently took an unprecedented step. My man gave some financial advice. Now, you know I've been a little critical of Deaton, but Deaton's got a good point here. Listen to this, all right? Deaton says, because of the post below, I'm going to do something I've never done on this site. I'm going to give financial advice on how to profit off of FOMO. The reason he's saying how to profit off of FOMO is because XRP is tied into FOMO. There ain't anything else out there with as much FOMO dynamite fuel built into it like XRP. It's not like there's Sol FOMO or XLM FOMO. No, XRP is FOMO king. So what Deaton is saying is, yo, use that to your advantage. So, Mr. Touche, one of the things that Deaton is hinting to us is buy the rumor, sell the news, which means the moves won't last. So, in terms of what will XRP be? Well, if you look at Deaton, Deaton's saying it's a tool to make money on short-term moves. Why? Because there's crazy amounts of FOMO and way, way unrealistic expectations. You don't buy the asset based on new news causing people to FOMO. That's when you sell the asset. Let's use XRP as an example. And this is a story that actually I've talked to Jeremy about several times on this. And it's a big problem. This is from Buttsinator. Since I already lost money from your post, so did my friends I sent this to. Pretty sus in your post anymore. And basically what happened was this, okay? Was CoinDesk came out and they had the whole thing where BTC was approved and it wasn't, blah, blah, blah. Big mess, okay? So what Deaton is saying is, look, once that news was announced, there was boom, dynamite action, right? It was going off, right? And then what happened? Crashed all the way back down. And that's what Deaton's saying is, look, this is a FOMO-related thing. We don't have enough clarity yet to understand true direction on what the use is. Because think, even Ripple Labs themselves is distancing themselves from XRP. They've been public about it. They've been very, very public about it, okay? So what Deaton is saying is, look, all right, Blackrock, all the news with the iShares, the trust and all this, buy the rumor, sell the news. It's not going to hold. Now let's keep reading. You don't wait for new news to buy XRP. You buy XRP when people are selling XRP. Basically saying, hey, look, buy it at the worst of the red times, play the pumps and dumps. Dude, this is coming from Deaton. Deaton's telling you out there, play pumps and dumps because it's not going to last. Listen to his next tweet. For example, the time to buy XRP wasn't when Judge Torres' decision was announced. The time to buy was before. That's when price was under 50 cents. Then you could have sold it when it was going up to 91 when everyone else was assuming it was going much higher. See what I'm saying? Deaton is saying out here that the realistic expectations aren't there. They're unrealistic. So if you play within that If you play within the buy the rumor, sell the news, if you play within the FOMO market pumps, you're going to make it. So, Mr. Touche, when we look at, hey, how do we look at XRP in the future? People right now, the people in the know are looking at how do you make money on XRP right now because the future is so unclear. We don't know, honestly, the direction that XRP is going to go. Banks using it, institutions, none of that stuff is proven to be true. XRP backed by gold, proven to be untrue. In fact, their CTO said that's physically not possible. Not me being mean, Klaus. I'm saying, no, the CTO said, yo, you can't do that. What about XRP in BRICS? What about XRP in SWIFT? What about XRP in ISO? See what I'm saying? All of the stuff that we were told just isn't materializing. What about XRP in the liquidity hub? They get some clarity and it's still not in the liquidity hub. So XRP, and what Deaton is saying here is, look, it's very unrealistic. There's too many crazy expectations out there, which are unfounded. Play within the lines and you'll make yourself some money. Okay, this is interesting, and I'm sticking with the Deaton theme here because I want to share with you Deaton's thoughts. Okay, look at this. Argentinian President Javier Milei plans to replace the peso with the US dollar and shut down the central bank. Okay, cool. He's also a massive Bitcoin bull, Maxi. Maybe not sailor nutbag Maxi, but this dude is close. Here's what Deaton says. Bitcoin will play a role 100%. So even Deaton out here is like, yo, Bitcoin's playing a role. This is legit. Why? Because you have a whole country's second president in a row now who's pro-Bitcoin. So Deaton's out here telling us, hey, not really much staying power with XRP. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Why? Because everyone is assuming it would go much higher. That's right here. But it's not. He's also saying, look, BTC is going to play a role. Why? Because they're using it. The rumors and the hype around BTC are real. And that's not me picking sides. That's me going, look, you got a whole country embracing Bitcoin. You got governments out there that can't shut it down because they're like, yo, it's a commodity. No one owns it. If you were to look at XRP, the SEC goes, you know what? Ripple Labs benefits directly from the sale of XRP. Who benefits from the sale of Bitcoin? We don't have that. So in terms of centralization, that's also a big fear. That's why Deaton's out here going, yo, look at Bitcoin. It'll play a role. He's being honest with everyone and setting realistic expectations. Now, this Blackrock thing here, this kind of bugs me a little bit, and it bugs me because this ties into all the ETF news. Blackrock warning prompts the Bank of International Settlements review exacerbates crypto's bearish sentiment. That's not good. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, raised concerns about the impact of stable coins on Bitcoin, which led to a subsequent review by the BIS. Findings from the BIS have intensified negative views on crypto. This comes as data from Finbold's Coinbase indicated there was a disproportionate number of short positions on specific currencies like Link, Matic, and so forth. Now, do you remember all those short position ones out there that got burned, like the AMC and all that? What they're basically saying is, look, if there's short squeezes going on, we think this is janky AF. Now, I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to go, wait a minute. The stock market is filled with a ton of short squeezes. I made a ton of money on oil squeezes a few years ago. A ton of money on it. I saw what the short positions were, and I saw it happening. Everyone saw it happening who was playing it. And what has me weird on this is, how is that okay? How is all the naked shorting of AMC and all that good, and GameStop? But yet, when we talk about crypto and all the short interest on that, you're like, whoa, that's too much. We can't have that. What? That's not playing fair on both sides. It bothers me because BlackRock seems to really be good at this whole playing both sides of the coin thing. And that ties into this story. Bitcoin spot ETF. Wall Street eyes $100 billion potential. According to Bloomberg, the impending debut of Bitcoin exchange-traded funds will open up digital currency investing to institutional and regular investors. Bloomberg Intelligence forecasts that with the participation of heavyweights such as BlackRock, which we just talked about the one before, this is, we got some crypto things to worry about. BlackRock, come on now. Fidelity and Invesco. After a decade of rejecting such applications, the US SEC is anticipated to improve them by mid-January. So, what will happen with this? Because remember, an ETF is going to be a regulated financial instrument. An ETF would mean that a lot more institutional players would get in on the ETF action. Why? Because it's protected. So what we have to worry about is the same thing that happened to gold and silver when the ETFs came out. When those ETFs came out, people were like, oh, this is awesome. Gold and silver ETF, we're going to moon. Problem was, they used those ETFs in paper shorting to control the price of gold and silver. Apply that knowledge to this, and you're sitting there going, well, wait a minute. Does that mean then they could short this kind of stuff, which would put negative price pressure on, and the institutions would be able to do it and to drive it back on down? That's where we have to be careful. Be careful, because history out there tells us that when the ETFs were introduced in gold and silver, it really screwed up the gold and silver market. By the way, speaking of gold and silver show, check it out, everyone. We got a lot of stuff to discuss today. Oh, yes, gold and silver show. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and notification bell, because later today, once my legs feel a little bit better, because yes, I did run a marathon yesterday, I'm going to be doing the gold and silver show. Now, XRP price action. I'm going to be honest here. We made it through the weekend above 60 cents, and you can see for a couple days we were getting close, touch and blow, but we didn't stay. Freaking awesome to see. The problem this week is low volume. Plain and simple. That is the story. You're not going to see crazy news. You're not going to see announcements from this judge. It's Thanksgiving week here, all right? And because of Thanksgiving week in the United States, where we have a lot of global financial institutions shutting down that are based in the United States, lots of businesses across the globe see a very, very soft week, okay? Why? Because a lot of financial players out there are on vacation because they're naturally off Thursday and Friday, which means they only have to be gone for 3 days. Total corporate world trick. So this week, low volume. This week, be very careful of FUD and fake news. Low volume plus fake news could be a huge setup for a pump and dump for XRP. Now, Deaton told us, hey, that's how you make money on XRP. Jeremy's asking us, hey, what's the deal with XRP? Sometimes it's a scan, sometimes it's not. Jeremy, things are just too messy out there, and we don't have the clarity. You know, Jeremy, and I'll talk to you directly here. When we talk about risk versus reward with XRP, there's a lot of risk and there's a lot of reward. When we look at risk reward versus gold and silver, there's not a lot of risk and also not a lot of reward. The problem we have with XRP is we don't know what the future is going to hold. We have regulators out there that are not pro-crypto. You've got Ripple Labs themselves distancing themselves from XRP. They've been public about it. All right? We've seen out there that all this action, XRP this, XRP, hasn't come true. So what do I think XRP will do or be in the future? Like I said, I will go into a deep dive video regarding that, but I thought I would just give you kind of like the surface level stuff of what's going through my mind, along with what's going through Deaton mind. One of the men in the know that is saying, you know what, with XRP, it's buy the rumor, sell the news, play the FOMO. Why? Because guess what, everyone? XRP was thought to go much higher. People would assume it would go much higher, and it didn't, and those unrealistic expectations meant you had to make money on the short term, not on the hodl, and Deaton is echoing the sentiments that I've been saying now for quite a long time. So now with all this ETF action going on, we have to start asking ourselves, if those big players out there are going to use the ETF to their advantage like they did in gold and silver, use paper futures and all that kind of fun stuff and paper shorts to knock down the price so that they could accumulate it cheaper and play within the swings. Now, if you're okay with that, that's awesome. If you're a hodler, that's probably not music to your ears. What's interesting is that Deaton gave us advice that was actually just the opposite of hodling. Telling us, look, if you want to make it with XRP, you got to play the pumps and dumps. You got to play the FOMO. This is a FOMO-based product. Now, if I'm going out there and I'm like, you know what, thinking of what else out there is FOMO-based, nothing even comes close to XRP. So if you've got a lot of FOMO and a dog whining in the background, don't worry, sweetie, we're almost done. But if you've got a FOMO product and you've got a whole bunch of uncertainty out there, you got to start thinking about your strategy. No one ever went broke taking profits. I like that phrase. I say that all the time, especially when I'm buying precious metals. And in the video today, I'm going to tell you precious metals buying points and what I look at in order to let me know, hey, risk versus reward fear. Now, with XRP risk versus reward, I think the biggest problem we're all facing is none of us are getting any clarity. It's all been rumors and it's all been speculation of this and that, or cryptic tweets, or, oh, there's a riddle and a puzzle. And that's just BS, man. It's not how life works in the financial world for things that stay. So it is frustrating, and yes, we need more clarity, but we also need more help from what, everyone? Government authorities out there, better regulations. We also need people out there to go after coin telegraphs, to go after other publications out there that publish fake news regarding these ETFs, that publish fake news regarding XRP, because there was the XRP ETF that was published. Now, granted, the Department of Justice is going after that person, but how many out there were thought, oh my God, XRP ETF? The worst part, though, was, and Jeremy, again, I'm answering your question with just some more thoughts here. The worst part about this, Jeremy, and everyone else watching, is that ETF that was announced when XRP, I could not tell you how flooded the comment section were on this channel about how stupid I was. Bro, there's an XRP ETF. The bigs are just keeping us out of it. I'm like, no, that's not true. And people were hell-bent convinced that an XRP ETF followed by Blackrock was real, even though the Department of Justice is like, dude, we got to go after this person. This is messed up. And people are like, no, that's all just fun. Dude, no, that is not healthy at all. So I'm glad Deaton mimicked my strategy on buy the rumor, sell the news, play the FOMO, pumps and dumps. Yes, everyone, pumps and dumps. Said it early this Monday along with some singing. But Deaton's being realistic and so am I. Does it mean people like me? Hell no. Some people like me, you like me, but all those maxis out there don't, because I speak the truth whether it's good or bad. So today for me is going to be a recovery day. I got to get my legs right because I got actually a race coming up in a few days. That's right. I ran a marathon not to run a marathon. I ran it to train to run an ultra marathon. Which means this drink is recovery based and not pre-burn. And it also means I ain't going to be doing too much today. In fact, I still got my pajama pants on. Don't see them because you're only seeing the top half of me. Gold and Silver show is coming out later, and I've got something juicy to show you all, along with a couple stories from you that are going to be inspirational. So, I'm going to work on that video after I stretch, after maybe I take an ice bath. You cool cats? Well, I'll catch you later today as more news breaks.